All right. Can anyone just confirm you got that recording notification and you can see my screen? All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our final community town hall meeting of the 24-25 school year. My name is Sarah Stell, and I'm the Director of Communications at Insight PA. And we have a packed agenda today. Um, the way we do our town halls is we're going to go through the different topics, and normally we try to hold the Q&A till the end. However, these are some exciting topics and there's a lot of information here. So at the end of each individual presentation, we will allow folks to ask questions that are at the front of their mind. If you do forget anything that you have, you can use the chat to ask a question. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Toward the end of the meeting, I am going to be putting a link to the sign-in form in the chat. We ask that all attendees, including staff, fill out that form for us, and then parents and guardians who are joining us tonight, that is the form that we use to do our raffle for items from our school store. So I am going to turn it over to our CEO, Eileen Canestrowski, to get us started.
Thanks, Sarah. Good evening, all. Really excited to be here with you tonight. Excited to see so many parents and staff on our town hall tonight. As Sarah said, our last town hall, but in this town hall, we're really giving you a great preview of what to expect in the coming school year. So just really excited about a lot of the great things that are going to be happening for our students next year. And for me, I really just kind of wanted to kick it off in terms of what's ending this school year. And that is our management agreement with K-12 Stride. And so just kind of give a little background on that. K-12 has been our management company since the school opened. Our board of trustees that did enter into an agreement, a management contract with Stride. And what that really means is that in the beginning, when we first started, Stride provided all of the services to our school. In those early years, it was really just myself as the CEO, our teachers, and our school counselors were Insight employees. All of our other employees were K-12 employees. So that was part of that management contract that we had with them. They were providing financial services, academic services, technical services, our enrollment and marketing services. And they were really a pivotal partner for us in those early years to getting the school up and running, and really starting a great foundation for success for us. But over the last 3 years, we've really been bringing a lot of those services that we were contracted with Stride to provide in-house. It kind of started with our financial services. We took over managing our financial services in 2022. It was also in the 2022-2023 school year where we moved all of the courses, the work that the teachers were doing with the students out of the online school platform and into the Schoology platform. And so those were some big services that we brought over in those early years. But we've been kind of mapping out how to slowly transition away from Stride so that we would be prepared here at the end of this agreement in 2025 is when June of 2025 is when the agreement ends. And then starting next school year, fully providing all of the services ourselves to our families. And so staff laptops started just this current year, where all of the laptops provided to our staff are controlled by Insight PA. And so really moving into next school year, I think what's pivotal for parents to know and what you're going to be hearing from Dr. Hughes and Miss Maloney and Miss Jones are really going to be getting into some of the specifics of what some of these changes look like. But I really and truly where we're at is new curriculum, will be provided to students next year, which we're really excited about. Great tools for our teachers to use with your students in live classes, as well as what they'll be putting in their courses in Schoology for content for students when they're working asynchronously. We're also going to be providing all of the student equipment, so all of those laptops. We're going to be providing you information on how you're going to be returning your laptops to K-12. Their laptops will be returned, and we will have new laptops that are Insight laptops. And we think that's going to be great equipment for the students to access what the teachers are doing with them in class, as well as through the Schoology platform. And then the last piece is really bringing on that enrollment. We'll begin doing our own enrollment for students who are new to the school. They'll be going through a new portal and platform and working directly with our staff to help get families enrolled. So a lot of really exciting things happening across the board for our students as we now are going to be fully independent, no longer managed by Stride, and really be able, what we think is the big benefit is we're really going to be able to be better equipped to meet the needs of our students by having our own staff and our own services provided to families. And so that's the piece that I just kind of wanted to give in terms of a really high level overview of the agreement ending with Stride and what that's going to mean for our students and our families moving into the next school year. As Sarah said, I will open this up for any questions. Sarah has shared really the graphic that we're providing to kind of show the exact services and what's that going to mean for you and your family next year. But I would like to open it up in case there were any questions about the end of that contract with Stride K-12. Not really seeing anything, Sarah. So I believe Dr. Hughes is up next to really get into the specifics of some of those changes and what it's going to mean for your students. So thanks all.
Thank you, Eileen. And it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Rosemary Hughes, our Director of Academics.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to share some of the key program enhancements that we have planned for next year. We have a lot of amazing work that's happening within and around our classrooms, but these are some of the big changes that are ahead for the upcoming school year. So the first is we will have new curricular materials in all of the core subject areas. So in English language arts, math, science, and social studies across all grade levels, K through 12 next year. And what this refers to are the materials that teachers use every day as they're working with students within their classes, and also as your students are engaging in classwork and homework outside of their core class time. We really focused this selection process on ensuring that all of these materials qualify as high quality materials. And so what that means is we ensured that the materials are aligned to the standards that the state of Pennsylvania has outlined for each of these subject areas in each of the grade levels. We've ensured that they're grounded in evidence about how children learn best. We took particular care to make sure that the materials reflect diverse cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives so that every student can see themselves in the materials that are being utilized each day. We made sure that they are materials that will keep students interested and match their developmental needs, and that they include tools for students who need extra help, as well as tools for students that are ready for more challenge. And why this is a really important shift for us is we anticipate that as a result of using higher quality instructional materials in each of these subject areas, students will learn more. Teachers will be able to focus more on teaching and spend less time searching for instructional materials. And it'll help us ensure that all students get access to the same standards and rigorous instruction. And then ways that you can support this initiative or this transition next year is when you're engaging with your students' teachers, you can ask some more information about the specific materials that are being utilized in their class. And then as you work alongside of your student when they're completing homework or classwork, you can review those materials to get a better sense of the alignment to the standards, but even more importantly, to help us ensure that we are delivering on our promise to leverage more culturally relevant materials. Our next shift is increased instructional time. And what this refers to is the amount of time during the day that teachers are directly instructing students within the core subject areas. And so the reason that this is really important is what we've seen is, particularly at the elementary grade levels, we need to carve out more time to focus on direct instruction in some of those foundational literacy and math skills. And so by expanding the class periods for ELA and math, it'll give teachers more time to cover materials in a way that's really meeting students' needs, as well as giving students that need more help access to instructional time to meet those needs. Daily instructional time is something that we are committing to grounding our middle school and high school program in. So the past 2 years, we had been running with a block schedule, which meant that middle schoolers and high schoolers were engaging in core courses every other day. And what the teams found is that was really disruptive. Students had a hard time retaining the information that was covered from one day to the next because of that break. And so we're transitioning back to a model where students will have core courses every day of the week, Monday through Thursday. And then Fridays will continue to be synchronous, as well as opportunities for electives and enrichment experiences. But the reason that that daily instructional time is important is those routines really create a safe learning environment that's predictable and consistent for students. It also ensures that students are practicing persistence. It continues to foster a sense of belonging because you're having daily opportunities to engage with your peers and your teacher in each of those classes. And that ultimately contributes to increased confidence and self-esteem. Ways that you can support your student through this transition. It's really important to prioritize attendance. Making sure your student is in class on time every day ensures that they are able to take advantage of the high quality learning activities that teachers are facilitating. Talking to your student about school routines and the expectations of not only showing up on time, but being prepared and being ready with all of the materials that are required for that day. And just encouraging them to problem solve. Challenges are a normal part of our learning process, and learning how to navigate those challenges, learning how to advocate for their own needs is going to be really important to making sure that teachers know what the students need and how to best support them. Our third enhancement is we are launching a new gifted program. Gifted programs are designed to meet the needs of students who show advanced cognitive abilities or high potential, particularly in areas that are not as subject specific. So demonstrating critical thinking, problem solving, and these opportunities are going to give those students that qualify for this program a chance to go deeper, accelerate the pace with which they're learning certain content, and really extend their thinking and their learning in important ways. Students will be identified using a multiple data sources. The first will be an ability screening. Because next year will be our first year, we are going to screen all students K through 12 at the beginning of the year. After that point, however, the ability screenings will only be administered in second and fifth grades. But we want to make sure that every student who has been with us for the last couple of years has a chance to complete that screening and be considered for eligibility for the gifted program. In addition to the ability screening, we also have academic screeners that we utilize. And then there will also be an opportunity for teacher and parent input, as well as a review of students' performance in their current courses. And then if any of you have a child that is deemed eligible for the gifted program, some ways that you can support your student as they engage in that program is to foster a growth mindset at home and really reinforcing that part of this opportunity is about them growing in terms of their work ethic and persisting when things are hard. And so the point is to give them more challenging opportunities to extend their learning. And so that likely means that they'll experience a higher level of difficulty. And again, that's normal and that's part of the learning process. And so encouraging them to advocate for themselves and work alongside with their teacher is going to be really important. In addition to supporting their independence. As a result of this program, they will have some additional responsibilities and it'll give them a chance to learn some of those really important independent learning skills. Our fourth update is we're continuing to expand our career pathways opportunities. These career pathways are structured series of courses that provide students not only with instruction, but also with opportunities to practice some really critical career-focused work experiences. And so it's really setting them up with an accelerated pathway to direct entry into real world, careers and jobs, or it'll set them up for college or other post-secondary educational opportunities. And we really want to reinforce that all of this is being offered at no additional cost to families. This is a really important piece of our high school program. We find that when students are engaged in a pathway, it gives them a lot more control over the types of courses that they take as part of the electives. They wind up being more engaged and they wind up being more successful, not just in those elective courses, but also in those core academic courses. And so we have some pathways that we have traditionally offered and will continue to offer. We have a business career preparation pathway. We have a healthcare professions pathway, a digital technology pathway, an education pathway. And then a new pathway that will be introduced will be our arts, entertainment, and design pathway. In addition to that, we have some additional career course offerings. So we'll be offering some courses in cosmetology as well as veterinary science beginning next school year. And depending on the response to those may eventually grow to become their own pathways. But these give students a really exciting opportunity to explore different career options and interests and eventually tailor their educational journey with us in high school in ways that are most relevant to their interests and their post-secondary plans. Ways that you can support your student with post-secondary planning would be talking to them about their interests and long-term goals, exploring the pathway options with them when it comes time for course selection, which happens around February, March, and April each year. Encourage them to try new things. They can always try a pathway, and if they find that it's not quite what they thought it would be, they can change their pathway as they continue to work with us through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And if you would like more information about this, our Director of Career Education's contact information is included here. And then finally, we're going to be continuing to focus on strategies to increase student belonging and engagement. Sense of connectedness, belonging, and engagement is really important to child development. When students feel connected to the adults, peers, and school community, we see that they are more successful academically. We see that they are more healthy in terms of their mental health and well-being. And we also see that it creates the conditions necessary for students to be resilient and navigate the challenges that come with preparing for adulthood with a lot more confidence than if they did not feel a sense of connectedness to school. The ways that you'll see us fostering connectedness, belonging, and engagement will be ensuring that every student has a positive relationship with at least one adult in our school. And by that, we mean at least one adult that they feel truly understands who they are, what motivates them, values their beliefs, their culture, who they are as an individual. We offer a lot of clubs, assemblies, and other school activities. We really would ask for you to encourage your child to take advantage of as many of those opportunities as possible. You'll also see lots of efforts on behalf of our teachers to ensure that each student's identity, voice, and culture are respected and represented in the work that they're doing in the classroom. And then we're working to provide classroom environments where students feel safe to take risks, ask questions, and they know that they'll be supported through those challenges. And so again, ways that you can help us in these efforts would be continue to talk with your children. And if you find that your student isn't quite feeling a sense of connectedness or belonging, reach out to the grade band program administrator or the counselor or a member of the team that's supporting your student. The earlier we know that a student isn't feeling seen or valued, the more quickly we can put the necessary support plans in place to ensure that they feel more connected and belonging. I know that was a lot in a very short amount of time. I do have some contacts, not just my own, but also our director of assessment and evaluation would be the primary contact for the new gifted program. And then our director of career education is the primary point of contact for our career pathways and other career focused offerings. But I will pause and just see if anybody has any questions about any one of these 5 key initiatives and enhancements for next year. All right. Well, I want to thank you for letting us work with your amazing children every day. It's really an honor to serve them and you, and we look forward to the continued partnership next year.
Thank you, Dr. Hughes. We are going, oh, let me let someone else in. All right. So next up, we are going to learn about some very exciting technology and systems updates from our technology support manager, Ms. Shanice Maloney. And just a reminder, while she's getting ready, I will be sharing the sign-in form link a little bit later in the meeting. And we are recording this, and we are going to be sharing all these slides and information in our school-wide newsletter later this week.
All right. Can you guys see my screen? Awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. So today I'm excited to share what is new in our technology for our school in the upcoming next year for 25-26. First thing that we're going to go over is new student laptops. So first up, we have the Lenovo ThinkPad, the E14 Generation 5, which is for our younger students from grades K to 5. This laptop is very powerful and durable, but is very reliable and it lasts all day for your daily schoolwork. Our second computer we have here is for grades 6 to 12. It is the Lenovo ThinkPad E16 Generation 1. And this will also as fast, cameras are ready, microphones already equipped. Everything that your child needs for their daily assessments will be on there. And finally, your child will receive a voice isolating USB-C-A headset with microphone. It's very lightweight and comfortable and very helpful for all children when they're in their classes all day. Next thing I want to talk about is the shipping time. So not everybody's going to receive a new laptop from us all at once. We will be breaking it up in certain times. So the first wave of students that will be receiving laptops will be in June. That will only be for summer school students, HDT, and ESY, which is extended school year students. So if your child is enrolled in either 3 of those groups, you will be receiving it first. So please look out for an email that will specify when you will be receiving it, and I will talk about it a little bit later on in the presentation on how you would be receiving your device. All other children will receive it in August and with the same type of process. All right. So receiving your new laptop. Updates will be provided via email, so you'll know when to expect your delivery. But remember that a signature is required at delivery, so to make sure that someone is home to sign for the package. The tracking information will be provided a window of delivery, not an exact date, but a window. So please make sure that you plan accordingly. Once your laptop arrives, you're sure to power it up right before, well, not right before, but maybe a couple days before school begins or summer school begins, so everything can do updates, make sure that it runs smoothly, all your login credentials are put in and working properly. That will also be given to you in an email. Please check your Parent Square and email for your new credentials that you will be receiving next year. Yes, I said new. So the credentials that you receive this year, your email and password will be changing. So please, please, please make sure that you are checking your email and Parent Square for that update so your child will be successfully enabling their computer correctly. Additionally, look out for a separate communication regarding instructions on returning your old device from K-12 Stride. So there is a process of how to return it. All of those laptops need to be returned back. If you either have 1 or 2 or more in the house, please return all of those laptops because they will no longer be in use after a certain date. You will get a new laptop from us, and that will be the only laptop that you'll be able to use for instruction. So new coming soon, I have some exciting news that we have been working so hard on and still working on. We are giving you all a family support tech page. And on this tech page, you will be receiving a lot of valuable guides and resources. So instead of saying, oh, well, how do I get here? Or how do I navigate here? All that will be out there for you in a version of a video or a guide that you can read through with pictures, everything that you need that you and your child can be set up for success every day. All of the software and school navigation troubleshooting guides will be at your leisure, and also access to us, the technicians, the IT team will be there to help you along the way if you ever get into a jam. For students, we have built out a student help desk. The student help desk will empower students to take accountability of their own situations. If they are not successful in their classes or unable to get to something, they themselves can reach out to their own student help desk, which is called One-to-One Plus. It's very accessible and convenient, very supportive and fast. So all is welcome to the support. So instead of notifying your teacher, you can come straight to us as the IT team and the tech support team. We can help you right away. So why is this happening? So we're moving forward away from K-12 Stride, and we're having our own managed devices. I know I've heard you, we all have heard you when it comes to the devices of this year. It has not been doing the best, but we assure you that next year we have full control now, and you have full trust in us that we will make sure that we are hands-on at all times to make sure that all your devices are up to par and your students are learning and assessing their academics each and every day. You will be enhancing your educational experience We have greater IT control and improved student safety at all times. Please stay informed. Make sure that you're informed and up to date with our systems. If you have changed your email, a phone number, or a mailing address, please make sure, take this down, write this down. Student records at insightpaschool.org, student records at insightpaschool.org, student records at insightpaschool.org. Please, if you have any type of changes, if the learning legal guardian, EC, the emergency contact has changed, please make sure that you are updating our systems by emailing student records at insightpaschool.org. If you do not do that, we are unable to give you any type of information when it comes to the credentials of the computer, of how to get into the computer, where to ship your new device, and how to contact you if any other updates have happening. Also, this all filters into our Parent Square. So if you're not signed up with Parent Square today, make sure you sign up for Parent Square. That is our main communication platform that we use to make sure you are always stay informed and up to date. That was a lot in a little bit of time, but do you have any questions? I'm just excited as you are.
All right, I'll take a look at the chat. So the first question, it looks like he beat us to it. So around June 30th, you will receive notice about your old laptop.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mike. And I would end with some more confetti and fireworks because I'm just excited as you are. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. All right, well, it's always hard to follow Shanice because she has the exciting news and is such a fun presenter. But thankfully, I don't have to do that. We're going to pass it over to Ms. Naomi Jones. But I am going to share on her behalf. So there we go. Can we all see that? Excellent. All right, Naomi.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Shanice. And one more thing, if you have a change of address, student records, please, because we need to ship those laptops to the address that we have on file. So if you have a change of address, and I know everybody moves over the summer, we work 12 months out of the year, so please let us know at student records or change of address at insightpa school.org. So exciting news, bringing enrollment in-house. This has been a lot of hard work on the back end, and we're super excited about it. And I'm super excited to see a lot of names in this group this evening of family members who have already gone through our enrollment process for next year. So thank you so much. I hope that it was smooth and very warm and fuzzy for you as families of ours. Along with that, charter schools typically ask of an enrollment confirmation survey every year. Sometimes it's called intent to return, commitment to return. This is letting us know that your family is intending on returning to Insight for next school year. This helps us prepare across all the departments to be successful in building the schedules, making sure we're deploying the computers, all of those things. If you're not returning, as much as we are sad to see you go, it's also important for us to know because there is a withdrawal process that is involved with our families who are leaving us. So this survey will get us in contact with those withdrawal specialists that can reach out to you and get that appropriate paperwork completed. That'll also help us send records to the new school if you're not returning. But we do hope you are returning. And if you haven't already, please be sure to complete this enrollment confirmation survey. It's a Google form. It should have come through Parent Square. And if not, at the end of my presentation, I'll be sharing some contact information of our Strong Start team who can deploy those forms for you or reach out and give you a call and see what your intent is for next year. Thanks, Sarah. These are our Strong Start advisors. Heather Clark, she does elementary, which is K through 5. And Valerie is doing from 6th grade up to 12th grade. If you have any questions, you're not sure yet, even if you're undecided, it's really helpful for us to know and document that. All right, thank you. And enrolling a new student. So if you have friends, family members, if your child has a sibling who's interested in coming to Insight next year or is kindergarten age ready, we have enrollment in-house now. So you would go to our awesome website. There is enroll for 25-26 school year as a drop down under About Insight PA. When you go on there, there will be an inquiry form that you will complete, which will get you in direct communication with one of our internal enrollment specialists. Our enrollment specialist will reach out over email and phone to help you set up a Power School enrollment form, enrollment form on our website or on our Power School enrollment form site. And then from there, we'll help you walk through all the steps, get all the compliance paperwork we need, answer any questions that you have. And another exciting advancement is we will be offering our first open house very shortly here. So we'll be offering 2 a month right now, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. So if you do have any friends, family members, or anybody who's interested, please encourage them to go to our website to sign up for an open house. They're welcome to sign up for an open house without starting the enrollment process. So any questions, feel free to email us at enrollment@insightpaschool.org. And we're hoping that you can spread the word about our awesome school and our awesome changes that are about to occur next year. And from there, I'll ask if anybody has any questions.
So Naomi, there is a question in the chat. It says, are you resending the re-enrollment form? So I'm not sure what the schedule is for resending the link through Parent Square, but what I can tell everyone is that it is going to be in this week's school-wide newsletter again. So you will see a section of the newsletter that says enrollment for 25-26 school year, and the link to confirm your enrollment will be in that newsletter.
Yeah, and I would just make sure that your contact information is up to date with student records, because our staff has been actively calling the families and sending the link pretty regularly over the last couple months. So I would just double check with student records at insightpaschool.org that we have your most recent contact information as well.
And I just want to make sure that you see there's a comment in the chat saying that this process was much easier than it's been in the past.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. The team has been so amazing and so warm and fuzzy and welcoming, and I'm so proud of them. And I will pass that information on to the enrollment team. They'll be proud to hear that. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Sarah.
All right. And so just a reminder, I'm going to move on to the next section of the evening, but if you do have questions that you're thinking of, you can put them in the chat. We have several staff members here this evening, and they are monitoring that closely. So I get to wrap things up by talking about 2 exciting updates regarding community engagement for next year, which is a part of the team that I have here at the school. And first is that some of you may have been active previously in the Stride K-12 learning coach community online, kind of like an online forum. And so because we're going to be losing that, we are going to be creating a new Facebook group for our Insight parents and guardians. So the goal of this group will be to provide an opportunity for you to connect directly with each other, to share resources and information. If you would like to schedule your own meetups, if you would like to see who's going to an upcoming event, or maybe even get some help carpooling, you will be able to connect with each other. And we're really excited about that. An Insight PA employee will create and run the group, but it's really going to be for all of you. And that employee is really just going to be there as a last resort to help provide information and just keep an eye on the tech side of things. But we are going to be looking for some Insight PA parents and guardians to help us out as additional moderators in that group. Participation in this group will be optional. No one will be added automatically. We do not have that sort of power, but we will, once we have it created, we will send out an invitation to let everyone know. And so we're very excited for that. And then additionally, we are currently in lease negotiations for a physical building, space in a building in Philadelphia. So it is not finalized yet, but our hope is to use this space for a variety of in-person activities that could include community engagement events, workshops for our families, testing sites, health screenings, and more. Even tech support if sometimes you just need that in-person help. So that's kind of what we're envisioning for this. And pending the success of this first center, we may be able to expand to other parts of the state. So that's the ultimate goal. And finally, some important information regarding summer communications. So, in addition to the main school-wide newsletter that's going to go out this week, there will be one final end of year newsletter, and that's going to go out the last week of school, which is the week of June 2nd. That's going to include additional information, reminders about some of the information we shared tonight, more updated information about the timeline for returning laptops and materials and when you're going to get the new ones and all of that good stuff that we can't wait to share with you. Throughout the summer, we are going to share 2 summer newsletters, one in July, one in probably early August, and they're going to include additional important informations and updates, as well as any legislative updates that we have to share with you. And then, just so you are aware, it is a long way off, but not quite that long. Our back to school newsletter will be sent out the week of August 18th. That is the week before the first day of school on Monday, August 25th. And that is going to have, again, all the information you're going to need to get started for the new school year. And just a reminder where else you can get information. Parent Square is our communications platform. All of these communications are going to be sent out through Parent Square. You're probably, if you've activated your account, you're seeing those emails and getting those messages in your inbox, but there is an app where you can go keep an eye. It almost looks like a social media feed, like a Facebook feed, where you can scroll through and get all those important updates. So if you have not downloaded the app, we highly, 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 highly recommend that you do so. Our school website, we do have a new page on the website, insightpaschool.org/future, where we're going to continue to update that page as we share more of this information for next school year. And just a reminder that we are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and YouTube. Our username on all 3 of those platforms is at Insight PA School. But if you just go on and start typing in Insight PA Cyber Charter School, our profile will pop right up. So in the chat right now, I'm going to put the link to the sign-in form, and we do ask that everybody here completes that. So that's parent, guardian, guests, as well as our staff attendees. And just a reminder, parents and guardians, we are going to use the submissions from our sign-in form to do our raffle for items from our school store, just as a small token of our appreciation for you being here tonight and taking an active role in your students' education. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, take a peek at the chat. We do have some time if people have additional questions. And if it's easier for you and you would like to unmute and come on the mic and ask your question that way, that is also okay. Okay. It looks like any questions in the chat have been addressed or are in progress. Are there any additional questions regarding the information that we shared tonight? I'm going to put that sign-in form link in the chat again, just so nobody misses it. If you don't have any questions and you've completed the sign-in form, you are free to continue your evening. We thank you again for being here. And I will just keep this open as people complete the sign-in form and just to make sure no other questions come up. But fellow staff members who presented tonight, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone else for being here. You are also welcome to hop off if you've completed that sign-in form. And I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks all. Have a great night. Stay dry.
I'm not sure if it's raining in Western PA or not, but it has been
Mm.
rainy all day here in Eastern PA. Thank you, Ron. Thank you for being here always. I appreciate you.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Rainy in Pittsburgh as well.
Mm.
Thanks, everyone. And I'll actually stop the recording now.